We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be, got nowhere to be. Your hair's a mess.
It's so dark in here today. No, I did bring my mirror down. We're ready. We're okay. I didn't bring my foundation down. Hello, can I help you? Yeah, lovely. So I've got a couple of new products that I wanted to test today. One of them I have tried a couple of times before. I'm still kind of making up my mind. And the other one is completely new to me. So that's exciting. I feel like I've not had any new hot off the press makeup products to feature in a little while. But Maybelline did send me their new Grippy Primer Serum, which I'm very excited about. On paper, this looks like something I would just love and adore. I have used the e.l.f. Gripping Primer for years. That is consistently in my makeup routine. And I'm excited to potentially have another drugstore option that I hopefully like just as much. So yes, I did very kindly get this sent in PR. It was on my wish list anyway to try, but I didn't think it was even available in the UK yet. Yes, I'm very excited to have my hands on this. I definitely would have purchased it anyway, just to see how it compares to the e.l.f. This does have the pipette applicator. Not my favourite. It just gets a bit messy, but perhaps because this isn't a pigmented product, it might not be as bad. Let's see what Maybelline have to say about it. Blends 24-hour long wear with skin-loving ingredients. Has serum to grip technology. Formulated with 2% niacinamide. Let's just see. I don't even know what the texture is like. I'm not really giving it a go. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand first. Okay, so first impressions. So it's definitely runnier than the e.l.f. Grippy Primer. That one will just stay on your hand. It's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty firm texture. This one is more runny. Feels nice though. I can feel it gripping, starting to dry down. And I will say, like, even with the e.l.f. one, you have to just work it into the skin for a few seconds in order to get the tacky, in order to get the tackiness. And the same with this one. That feels really nice actually. Feels thinner than the e.l.f. one. Doesn't feel as sticky, but it just, yeah, it feels definitely more like a serum than the e.l.f. one does. I'm going to just do like a tiny bit more where my makeup does tend to budge around a little bit. So my forehead and kind of my cheek area. Just feel like those areas of my skin eat makeup. So just want to put a little bit of primer there. Yeah, definitely sticky. Okay, cool. Okay, I like that actually. Feels nice. I think that's going to be a nice one. I just hope it doesn't leak. I hope the packaging doesn't get too annoying. That is the real benefit to the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It's in a really easy pump squeezy tube bottle. Makes it super easy to travel with. Very convenient. This is glass, which feels nice, but it's just a bit heavier if you do want to travel with it. But yeah, I like that. So annoyingly, I didn't actually bring a proper foundation with me, which is fine. So I'm going to use this Rafi concealer as a bit of a kind of all over base product. This is in the shade number 3. I'm still making my mind up on this concealer, to be honest. I feel like it has looked a bit crepey the first kind of couple of times I've used it. So I'm just going to use it straight from the doe foot across my skin. And we'll see how this blends with the Maybelline primer as well. I typically will just use this with the e.l.f. primer. But yeah, we're going to see how it blends. Lovely. Okay. Oh, it's going to be really pale, isn't it? And then I've got a cream bronzer that we can kind of warm things up with anyway. But yeah, the first couple of times I've used it, I have felt like it's been a bit creepy. It's kind of bunched up a little bit under the eyes and it hasn't given me the most smooth, flawless application. I actually do like the way it's sitting today. Perhaps it didn't really work well with the e.l.f. primer, because again, that's typically what I would use it with. I look so friggin' pale right now. So yeah, I've just kind of gone around with my finger just to warm the product in a little bit. I actually really like how that looks. Okay. My camera is making me look like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but I promise you it's actually not that bad in real life. Yeah. Okay, that's quite nice actually. I feel like that has blended in a lot better than it has done previously. I'm not going to touch it now because I don't want to disturb it too much. I want it to just kind of settle. I feel like some of the coverage has, or some of the product has picked up a little bit right in my inner corner there. So I'm going to see if this will layer at all. I just want a little bit because again, I don't want to like add too much product. I'm just going to tap that right into the inner corner there. Okay, it's actually, yeah, a lot nicer. Doesn't look dry, doesn't look creepy, hasn't pilled or anything. That was the other thing that I was noticing the other day, especially under my eyes where I'm obviously using the most amount of product. It was pilling a little bit, but that might just be the e.l.f. primer. Maybe it didn't like that, but success so far. Before I go in with any powder, I'm going to go in and bronze up my skin, add some blush. So I'm going to take my Rare Beauty contour, well, it's a bronzer stick really, in Happy Soul. Very nice creamy emollient formula, and I always use my NYX number 4 brush, which is the perfect kind of duo fibre. Cheek brush just fits really nicely around the face. So I actually went to the tip this morning, which, tell me why going to the tip makes you feel like the most productive person in the world. So the tip is basically, well, it's like a household recycling centre. I don't know if it's called the tip in the US, but in the UK we always say we're going to the tip. And I've been driving around with a coffee machine in the back of my car for probably like 6 months, and it was about time I put my big girl pants on and went to dispose of it responsibly, which is exactly what I did. And it was so quick. I was literally there for like 30 seconds and then I just felt so embarrassed that I'd left it so long. But yeah, my old coffee machine, again, I've had it in my car for like 6 months, just driving around with it, kind of rattling around in the back. And yeah, it was so quick. I was literally in, I pulled up, shoved it in the bin, and then was on my way. So yeah, don't know why I put that off for so long. It's just one of those tasks that you just put off. But we're actually going to the Cotswolds tomorrow and we're taking Winnie, so she takes up half of the boot anyway, and then the other half I had my coffee machine in there. So I was like, okay, I need to get rid of this, otherwise Ben and I are not going to have room for our things that we need to bring. And we've got like food and stuff that we're bringing, and obviously Winnie and all of her stuff. So yes, it was about time, to be honest, that I sorted that. So yeah, that's good. I felt very productive, like a real adult. Okay, so for my blush, oh, I've been so excited to use this. This blush is summer to me. It is one that I will always take on holiday with me when I've got, you know, a great, I say great tan, I don't tan great. I never tan very well, but when I've got some colour, you're going out in the evening, 4 or 5 p.m, sunset, the light, you're glowing, you've got a bit of a tan, and then you whack this blush on, and that's just summer. It's just summer to me. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Dawn, and as I said, this is just the perfect like tomatoey red kind of orangey blush. You might be a bit scared of it, but I promise you, like even when you blend it out, I've just blended a bit on the back of my hand, it just works so beautifully on the skin. I absolutely love it, and yeah, it's just the summer blush for me. So I am going to take a tiny bit on the back of my hand. Do you want to work, you know, pretty cautiously with this product? Cautiously? Carefully, with caution. You know, work slow, work it into the back of your hand first, and then I'm just going to kind of go onto my cheeks, and then I'm just going to take my brush to just further blend and feather the product out. I just love this shade so much. If you've got a medium to deep complexion, the shade, oh my god, it would look stunning on you. We will be getting some colour, I'm sure, as the weeks go on and the weather starts to warm up again. We had some really nice days. We're very sunny, like 24 degrees. And now it's just gone back to being like just grey. Grey and miserable. Okay. The good thing about these blushes is that they do build really nicely. So if you know, obviously have gone in with a tiny amount to start with, just to test the water, you can easily build the product. Lovely. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. So now I am going to add a bit of powder. So I'm just going to use my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush powder. Just where I feel like I want my makeup to be set down a little bit. Really loving my base today, actually. It's really nice. All of those products have worked really, really well together. And the primer is holding up well so far. I had my hair cut about a week or so ago. Not that you can really tell anyway. Yeah, I don't know, just got to the point where I was just getting really annoyed with it. I did curl it like yesterday. It's got a bit bedhead-esque now, but yeah, you like that. God, it just feels nice and fresh, you know, when you get your hair done after leaving it potentially a little bit too long. But what's new? Okay, so for brows, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil, which has not a super fine tip, but my brows are quite thick anyway, so I don't really mind having an extra bit of girth. Gosh. So I'm going to brush them up with the spoolie. So I'd love to know what books you guys are reading at the moment. I recently finished The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Matt Haig? I think so. I don't have the author name in front of me right now, but I think it's Matt Haig. And that has been on my list to read for years, like since I really started to get into reading and kind of following the new and popular books and, you know, older books from the last decade or so that were really popular. And The Midnight Library was one that I just always had in the back of my mind, and I was like, oh, I just want to read that. I just feel like I would love it. And I did really like it. I think I did give it 5 stars. Yeah, it was really good. I was kind of reading the reviews afterwards. I don't like to read too many reviews before I start reading a book because I don't want any spoilers, and I don't want to be swayed by anyone else's opinion. So I went into it completely blind, and it's basically about a lady who has the opportunity to live lots of different lives in kind of parallel universes based off decisions that she could have made in her life. So different past paths that she could have chosen, you know, different relationships that she could have been in, and you follow like a few of the different kind of options, I guess, or the different paths in life that she could have chose. And it was really interesting. I thought that the kind of messaging, and there is like a little bit of self-help, which as I was reading the reviews after, I think a lot of people found that a bit cringe. And I think like self-help, it's not a self-help book. Like it's not a self-help book in the likes of, you know, Atomic Habits or the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. It's not like that at all. It is a novel, it's a fictional book, but there are elements that you may relate to, and I definitely did. Even like her life, there was a lot of parallels in there for me. One of the lives, she is living in Cambridge, literally where I live. You know, she did swimming when she was growing up. Like, again, there was lots of things I was like, oh, same, you know. So yeah, that was a bit strange. Oh, I'm now going with the Kosas brow gel, and that just made it very like relatable to me. And yeah, I think the main message of the book is, you know, you can have regrets in your life, or you can wish that you did something differently, or that you went for a different job, but you don't necessarily know if that would have made you any happier or any more fulfilled in your life. You can kind of, I don't know, romanticize it in your head, I guess. You know, but you don't actually know how that life would have made you feel. So just, you know, stick with the one that you've got, people. Just make the most of it, you know. And yeah, I think, yeah, some people maybe found that element a bit cringe. I quite liked it. I love a self-help book. Give me all the help I can get, frankly. I live for a motivational podcast. Yeah, self-help books, like quotes, anything like that. I honestly eat it up. Okay, so that was my little book rant over. I'm now reading some kind of F1 like romance book. I don't even know. I feel like sometimes the stuff that Goodreads kind of throws at you in terms of like what's new and trending, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll just, you know, give that a go. But I do love a sports romance, I will say. I don't know what this one's called that I'm reading. I'll have it up on the screen. I'm only a few chapters in, but you know, it's okay so far. It's just like a kind of mindless read, isn't it? Which sometimes I think you need. So I'm just going over my skin with a bit. So I'm just going over with a bit of my Chanel bronzer. This one is the Le Beige Luminous Colour in medium. One of my favourite powder bronzers. So it just gives a really nice amount of colour to the cheeks. Okay. I didn't really know what to do for my eyes today because I'm just like, I spend so much time on perfecting my base, you know, choosing the right bronzer and blush to use, that by the time it gets on my eyes, I'm like, oh, I'm done. Can I go home now? But I thought, no, let's pick out a shadow I haven't used in a while, and we can just make it really easy for ourselves, a little one and done. So I picked out my Bobbi Brown Long Wear Shadow Stick in Golden Pink, which is a nice, very light, kind of shimmery rose gold. So I'm gonna just scribble this over my eyes and then blend it out with my finger. So it's quite a summery shade as well because it's just a really pretty kind of light gold. So again, I'm doing this makeup as if I'm sat on a balcony in Greece doing my makeup. I'm sun-kissed from the day and I'm about to go for a nice dinner and stuff my face with bread and wine. But that is not quite the reality that we are living today, but that's fine. So a little bit of this. Oh, it's actually really pretty. I don't normally use this all over the lid, but it's really lovely. And these do last really well on the eyes, so great one if it is a bit warm and you don't want to kind of sweat all of your eyeshadow off. This is really lovely. Wow, I don't really use this as a one and done, but it's really pretty. Just gonna blend my finger, take my finger to blend the product. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to set that down with a bit of my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. Just a little bit. Important if you are going out and it's hot. And this setting spray is fantastic for longevity, so definitely one to pack with you if you are going away and you do wear makeup during the day and you want it to really lock in place. Now I'm just going to take a bit of my e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara. Nice everyday one. I think I need to get a new mascara soon. I feel like this one is getting to the point where I'm like, oh, are you okay? Are you expired? Are you getting a bit old now? But it's nice. Still gives me a nice amount of length and definition. I don't think I have any other updates or things I wanted to say today. We are about a month out now from, well, less than that actually, from my 15-kilometre or like 10-mile, which I think actually might be 16 kilometres trail run that I'm doing, like a cross-country run. Training is going, I don't know, since my half marathon it's really taking a lot for me to actually get out there and go for a run, go to the gym, you know, do all of the things that I was doing really well before my half marathon. And I thought in my head, okay, if I consistently have goals that I'm aiming towards and races that I am going to be running, that I would just always feel motivated and ready to go. But I think I gave like so much to my half marathon training, I'm just finding it a bit hard to find that level of intense commitment again. And the next race I'm doing, it's still 16 kilometers, you know, that is still a very long way. And since my half marathon, I've not even run 10k yet, which is like, yeah, not ideal, really not ideal. But I've got a few weeks. We're just gonna see what happens, to be honest with you. Yeah, okay, moving on to lips now. I'm going to use my NYX lip liner in Leon, because I think with this blush I do want something that's not so pinky, it's just a bit more on the warm side. And this is almost like a nice kind of peachy terracotta shade. And then for lips, like lipstick, I might use this YSL in 150. This is one of the Love Shines, a bit more pink. I know I said I didn't want anything too pink, but I think this is going to be a nice coral, I think. I don't know, we'll see. These are just really nice, shiny, super slick lip products. Yeah, that's really nice actually. The UPS van. Okay, so that is the finished kind of summer, quick summer get ready with me. Oh, this blush is just, I just love it. Oh, I wish I was on the beach. Yes, exactly, Winnie, I agree. So I do really like the way that my base has turned out today. I think the primer worked really nicely, and the Rafi concealer blended nicely on top of it as well. So I think I found a good duo there. I just have to see if the primer actually keeps my makeup on and keeps it looking nice and fresh throughout the day. But yes, I think that's a success. Success, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this little morning video, get ready with me, a bit more of a chatty video, which, you know, is just the vibe at the moment, isn't it? So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.